Okay, welcome back to the Rise and Shine show. Today I have someone who I totally adore. She's my friend, Jennifer. She's an incredible artist and a beautiful example of what it looks like to actually follow your joy, something we're all working on. She took a leap and trusted what lights her up and built a small but powerful art business right out of her garage studio, which she is sitting in right now. And I wanted to bring her on because I just know how many people dream of doing something like this? And she's showing us that it's possible and she's actually doing it. So we're just going to have a conversation with Jen about her path and her passion and what following her bliss has looked like in her life. So we're going to jump on in. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
So
Thanks
happy
for
to have
having
you.
me.
I'm so happy to have you here. I actually got to take some of your painting nights, and they are so fun. I have had a chance to experience a little bit of the garage.
Yeah, there's been a lot of classes through here, but the adult paint nights are definitely a newer thing it's been a year that I've been doing it, but I've been teaching kids out of this garage for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
But I've always wanted to leap into teaching adults, but I just felt a little bit intimidated, maybe a little bit scared that, I'd be judged or, I'm not polished enough, or there's always something that, gets in the way of that thing that you want to do because you're scared. But
Yeah, definitely. I think we can all relate with that area. Um, and what it's interesting that, that something in us is saying that you would have to be polished to be an art teacher, like, that we build up these ideas of what we think it requires to actually do it, right? And then, I mean, you're living proof that not all that is true, or maybe it is. What has been your experience? Do you need to be more polished? How's it working out?
yeah, it's all that self-doubt that you have inside of you. Um, Well, we'll just start with how it all kind of started my school. It was because I moved into this neighborhood and started my family I started my family before I moved into the neighborhood, but I have four girls, and two of them were born in the other house. And then we moved here. And then my oldest was going to start kindergarten, and she was going to go to Mar Vista down the street. And I was waiting on tables at a Cafe Cruz when I was pregnant with those guys. And I knew I wanted to do the arts. I went to the Academy of Art College and got a degree. And I knew in the back of my head I wanted to do like teaching. I've always wanted to teach, even when I graduated from the Academy of Art College in '92. Um, my first major was illustration, and I realized right away that wasn't for me because of the deadlines and the pressure, and it didn't feel like I was
Mhm.
connecting with that at all.
Not a match. Not a match.
No, so I switched to painting and fine art. And I said, okay, well, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to be showing my stuff in galleries? Am I going to be trying to sell? Which is not me either. So I'm like, I can really see myself teaching adults. I said this right away back in the '90s. I want to connect with adults that feel that excitement like I do. Like I get so excited about creating and touching into that place that's like way down inside that needs to show its little head, and how a lot of adults um, get nervous and scared to show that because they
Yeah.
feel like they're doing it wrong, or they're not,
Mhm.
approaching it right, or all the different reasons. And so that was my main thing. I wanted to teach adults. And then met my husband, started our family, came out to Santa Cruz, and I was like, we need after school art for kids because they're not really giving them a lot in schools. And so I opened my garage up, and it was an after school. Well, I first started with workshops, And then I went to the after school, but it was always on the half day.
Mhm.
And then I did that for a lot of years. And then I started doing summer art camps.
Mhm.
And then I did more workshops. And then I just kind of kept growing. And then I started opening myself out to contracting out into other schools because I can only do the half day
Mhm.
because I don't want it to run into dinner time and things like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
after they get out of school. So I started working for a preschool. I worked for Little Branches, and then I worked at Mar Vista as a contracted and teacher in Main Street Elementary. I'm actually still there. But I was like, hey, I need to actually do it during the week from my studio. I have a
Mhm.
studio that is packed full of
Goody.
yeah,
Yes.
and it's so perfect the way our garage is kinda offset, it's not facing the
Mhm.
street, so it feels very protected, and then, I was like, "How about homeschool?" So,
Mhm.
I became a vendor at Ocean Grove and did that,
Mhm.
and then, right in the middle of the whole homeschool, like, becoming a vendor, which was a kind of a long process because I had to get insured, and then I had to you know, it was a lot. So during that, I was like, I'm going to start doing adults.
Mhm.
And then I got a kiln
Mhm.
back behind me,
Yeah.
huge
Saw
kiln,
that thing. It's
and a
beautiful.
wheel. And then I wanted to start doing clay, which is I've always been a dream of mine. And I've taken classes over at Cabrillo. And when I was at art college, I didn't do a lot of ceramics. I did more sculptural stuff.
Mhm.
And so that got exciting, and then I started doing adult clay nights, and then painting nights,
Mhm.
and adult painting nights. But
Broke into the adult world.
yeah, it was really nerve-wracking at first. It was scary because
You felt like
I
you're on the spot or something, right?
my style of teaching is I always feel like it's completely different than most organized lesson kind of styles. Or if you went to a paint night, a lot of paint nights are like, I'm painting this and we're all going to paint this. I didn't want to do that. That right there kind of made me nervous because I think that's what a lot of people expect.
Right.
But I first started with a lot of friends in the paint night. Well, there's still a lot of friends, but I've done paint birthday nights, and it's just only been great feedback. The way that I teach, I'm very hands off, but also right there and
Yeah.
very encouraging.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
that's and when I think of when I first went to Jen's paint nights, she seems to really get it that what our fears are as adults trying things maybe for the first time or maybe since you've been a kid or even if you're a returning artist, there's definitely some hesitation and I felt all those things. I felt like I thought, "Oh, how fun painting." And then you're sitting there with that canvas looking at you and it just all of a sudden becomes a little scary because you don't wanna mess
Definitely.
it up. It's a clean, clear slate,
Mhm.
and I don't know what I'm doing, and, she makes it look so easy, and so it was, like, such a great process to go through. I mean, I think we should all keep learning always, and even if it's scary and even if it's uncomfortable, I think there's like so much to gain from trying new things and learning. And it was a really
Absolutely.
great environment to do it in. So I think like your desire, your hopes and dreams and your wish to be that person that guides timid adults to approaching their more creative side is exactly what you're doing there. And yeah, after a little bit of time, like see the time's going by, so you gotta just get some paint on that thing. And it helps you break into that and then,
Yeah.
how the stuff comes up. But stuff
Yeah.
does come up and that's
Mhm.
part of the journey, whether it's learning dance or learning
Mhm.
some art or whether it's learning a new language, right? You're gonna
Absolutely.
always have your little internal dialogue going on in those
Yeah.
settings, and it's just more of an opportunity to, grow through that and reap the benefits of having put yourself out there to try something new. And just yeah, you did you're very approachable, and the group is very inviting, and makes it very fun and makes you look forward to it and trying it again, like, "Okay, I did it, I'm gonna try it again now."
Yes. There's so many stories, so many wonderful stories that I hear of, like, adults that all of a sudden, like, maybe they're an accountant or, and they just feel all tied up, and then they start taking my classes, and then they make a little space in their house to all of a sudden have, like, some watercolors out, and they realize how much it lets go of, like, stress and all kinds of, like, tension
Yeah,
because you're tapping inside of somewhere that is so it's just everybody has it, and it's
yeah,
just so the feeling of tapping into that creativity that's a lot of times it's pretty deep down in there, and then when it starts
mhm,
creeping its little head out, you're like, "I'm getting the chills thinking about it." You just
yeah,
get so excited about it's limitless, It's just like, "What can I do? I can do it. I can do anything,
yeah,
anything,
yeah,
and it's gonna come from me."
mhm,
And that's my big practice when I teach kids too. I'm constantly telling them that this is coming from you. And you are learning how to do it in a certain way, but it's coming from you. So this is like such a special thing that you're doing right now
yeah,
because it's coming from this special place
right,
and you're creating with your own you.
right,
It's
yeah,
just I get so excited.
well,
It's like sometimes I cry in class.
yeah, I mean, and it's true how much I see, like, definitely and feel how passionate you are, and how, when you hear somebody that passionate about something and clearly see their authenticity in what they're saying, it's like you kind of can't help but to be curious and to want to lean in more and
Yeah,
be like, I want to feel that feeling. I want to experience that experience.
definitely.
And we do it in different ways. People do it in different ways. And this is another way to tap into what we're capable of and what's within us. And
Excellent.
would you say that it even might be an essential part? I mean, in flexing that creative muscle, an essential part of, like, someone's well-being or somebody's balance and their
Absolutely.
yeah.
My gosh. Yes. Yes.
Can you
And
imagine
so
life
when you
without it?
see it like sparking in people, it
Yeah.
just feels like it's like, yes, yes,
Mhm.
everybody has it, and when you feel that excitement, like I got a few extra people coming from the clay nights because of the paint nights, they're like, hey, I'm going to dabble in some clay now.
Mhm.
And then they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is for me." It's like almost like you just it just starts the juices rolling and it's just and then you see the passion behind each person and what they choose to do and
And
it's so rewarding.
yeah.
It's such I mean, I'm constantly just like, what a job that
Yeah.
I get to do.
Yeah.
Even with kids because I'm going to cry.
Mm. It's welcome.
Because the I hear stories from the parents that they go home and they have lessons with their family of
That's
how to draw a
great.
pumpkin in three-dimensional and how excited they were that they learned this and that they know how to draw something like that.
Yeah.
Or, just stories of like this excitement that comes
Yeah.
from kids too. It's just it just gets me just I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
I
doing the right job.
It's obvious. Yeah, it's so obvious. And I've heard of art therapy, but it seems like it is therapy, whether we're calling it art therapy or whether it's done by a psychologist or
Right.
it just seems like it really truly is an opportunity to, especially when we're thinking about the adults and the kids these days, and anybody who struggles with that perfectionism or that paralysis, the analysis
Mm,
paralysis kind of
mm,
stuff, or in a day where we don't have to create anything, really. Everything can be created for us. And it just seems really important to protect that our ability to create something authentically from within that's truly coming from inside, like you're saying, like, I mean, I can see it like that it's a soul expression. It's an expression of, your spirit and your soul. What would you say about that?
Absolutely. So I'm going to tell you just a quick little story. I graduated from college and I was doing a lot of art when I was living in San Francisco. I lived in San Francisco for 12 years and I was kind of getting bored. Um, I was trying to do what I felt like the world wanted to see, and I was doing what I learned, but I was keeping it in a box. And then I found out about this teacher. His name was Mike Michael Markowitz.
Mm,
And I found out about him through an open studio of this beautiful figure drawing stuff that I saw at one of the open studios in San Francisco. And she told me about him. And I went, and he was just like, ugh, just so passionate. Okay. But he was also very kind of abrupt and kind of scary.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you had any kind of education in art, he didn't want you in there
Mhm.
because he didn't want you to do anything from your brain. And that's exactly what I was kind of getting bored with, you know? Like I was doing my art from my brain and I
Mhm.
wasn't doing it from my subconscious.
Yeah.
And so he taught me, he was such a huge influence in my art. He taught me to draw from inside. So it was very, I used to draw figures dancing. And they would be like 30-second, they'd just be dancing and you're just drawing. And it was just that was our practice, constantly moving. But it was like you were just feeling it, like you'd close your eyes and then you would just feel it and would just come out with this like such emotion and
Mhm.
such like each line had so much emotion and feeling from me or from whoever was doing it.
Mhm.
And it was just like, what in the heck? These drawings were just so, and it just really moved me. And I took his class for years. And then I met Ted and then we moved out here and I had to leave his classes and it just was like heartbreaking because
Mhm.
he taught in that way. And
Mhm.
so I feel like a lot of my teaching is because of the way he influenced me
Yeah.
from um okay, I'm going to tell you what we're going to draw or how we're going to draw, but I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm saying how, but
Mhm.
I I stand back and then I say just go for it and then just see how it feels and that's the way I'm with the kids and even if they're looking at their friends and trying to do it kind of like theirs, I'm like that's okay. That's the way it's feeling good for you right now, but I just constantly am like let's see what feelings come up and how
Yeah.
you feel. Because
Yeah.
it's not about, oh, they're saying to do the lines only on the outside, that kind of stuff. I'm very, um, I, yeah, I get very, I worry about how I word things. I constantly am uh, trying to because a lot of kids and adults get squashed because people come up from behind and they say, "Oh, it looks like this. Or
Mhm.
you doing it like that because
Mhm.
you're trying." And so they get like, they're doing it wrong.
Mhm.
And so there's no wrong in art. And I'm
Yeah.
constantly saying that with my kids and adults.
Yeah.
Even if it looks not exactly the way you like it, well, you can change it. But it's not because you're doing the technique wrong.
Yeah.
It's because
Yeah.
you're just it's not being laid down the way your gut's feeling like I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to explain something
Yeah.
that I don't know if you're getting it.
I think I think you're saying that, in life we are constantly being corrected or molded and shaped and there's the wrong way and the right. And there is like in some things, right? It's like to get this result, these are the things you got to do. There is
Yeah.
things like that, right?
Oh, definitely.
And then a
Yes.
lot of and then but so then how do we and then we are supposed to step into this art world and shake a lot of that off and be able to just let whatever comes out be the right thing, right? I guess I kind of think of it like a coaching session because we are learned that there is no wrong way the session can go. Like there is no wrong way because the fact is we are where we're at and that's exactly where we should be, right? It's like
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
can't have this premeditated of like, okay, we're going to go through this process and they're going to have this exciting moment and it's going to end like this. And that's a
Yeah.
successful session, even if it
Yeah.
all goes up in flames. It is a successful session. Like it's the
Yeah.
way it's supposed to be. So it's like, I guess that's another area in that I can relate to that is like kind of throwing out the rules and the expectations
Yes.
to be able to just let whatever comes out, and even if it's hideous, because that's what comes out on the piece of paper, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, "This is hideous." In a way, it's like, that is perfect too in the process because you almost have to, like, work through all the little, like, parts of the judgment and,
Absolutely.
what you think it should look like to what it looks like, and even, like, finding the beauty in something that doesn't look the way that everyone else's looks, you know? We could talk about our bodies and actually be
Yeah.
having the same conversation.
Yes,
Um
definitely. Yeah, and it's always been a battle with me and my own art with wanting to do things that's gonna please others.
Mhm.
It's always been a battle with me because I'm like, "What am I why am I choosing is it for acceptance?" It's like it's all like
Yeah, you want someone to say, "Wow, good job," or
yeah,
"Beautiful." Yeah, that
exactly.
validation and,
Mhm.
you're good. Yeah, that is a whole nother part you get to work through or not, you know?
Uh,
You'll have a lot more fun if you do,
yeah,
I think,
yeah, yeah.
and it probably takes practice, and it sounds like it's something even after I mean, how many years have you been at this?
You mean teaching
Art.
or art? Since high school, really, my whole life, but, yeah, high
Well, good
school, I
for
really got into it, and
you.
that's how I ended up getting a scholarship to the Academy of Art College, was from my art teacher in high school who was he saw so much in me,
Yeah, I
you
believe
know?
in you. See, it's
Yeah,
like you don't I get that we're trying to get to a place where we don't need that validation, and it's really great because then you don't have people holding power over what you create, really, right?
yeah, yeah,
And at the same time, like, to have one person believe in you I feel like is sometimes all it takes, kinda do need,
yes.
like, a person to believe in you, like this teacher, someone to believe in you when the world kinda taught you not to, right, in a way, it's like, "Yeah, you're not quite good enough. No, you're not quite good enough. No, look
Yeah.
around. See, you're not that good enough." And then one person is like, "You're good enough." And you're like, "Really? Okay." Like, why we get to,
I'll
like,
take that compliment.
we're
Yeah,
taking it and running.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so a lot of times when kids and adults get self-critical about what they're doing, a lot of times I'll pick up their painting or drawing or whatever it is, and I'll walk across the room and I'll show it to them from across the room.
Yeah.
And almost 100% of the time, almost, they're like, "Yeah, I
I see
like it."
something." Yeah.
Because they get so locked into
Mhm.
trying to make it a certain way that when you pull it away, they're like, "Oh, it's already there, but yeah, I need to adjust some other things," or
Mhm.
you just get too so locked in. But
Yeah,
that's fun too, to see people connect with their pieces. It's so rewarding.
I bet, and I did not connect with my first one, and I'm sure that could probably happens, and then I think down the line, if you practice a few times, even I mean, I've only done it not even quite a handful of times, but I felt like each time it felt better because it's not going to feel that good to feel you're being so harsh on yourself. And I think that that's almost expected when you're first coming in. I mean, I know there's some people out there, and I'm so blown away by these people. I just really am like want to watch them and bring them onto the podcast just so I can ask, how do you be that way? Like, how do you be someone who doesn't be so judgmental to yourself, and how do you
Yeah.
just do things and then just
It's a beautiful thing.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's
and they
hard,
don't seem to
but
doubt themselves, and they're just like,
yeah,
"Yeah, this is
and they put
great."
all their pieces up on their main wall of their
Yeah.
house.
My goodness, they do that.
It's like they love them.
I know. So impressed. I'm like, "How did you shush that loud, obnoxious dialogue
Yeah,
that's telling you?"
it's hard.
Yeah, and then
It's
I see
hard.
art, we have art that hangs at the salon monthly, different artists hang, um, and it's always different, and, I mean, artists are so impressive to me because they, at some point, have to decide they're gonna show the world what they made. It's like I guess it's with anything that our life's work, right, where we're showing the world it, whatever that is. It's like at some point you have to decide that this is good enough to go put up on this wall, or this is good
Yeah.
enough to post. And I can speak from personal experience that just in doing this kind of work and whatever, posting on social media, like a lot of the time, I don't necessarily think like, "Yes, this is great. I'm gonna put it up." Usually it's like, "Oh, okay, well, here we go. There, just throw it up. It's
Yeah.
fine. Walk away." You're just you gotta hold your breath sometimes and just put it out there, put it up. Sometimes it's embarrassing, all the different feelings. It's definitely not always like where I'm just beaming with pride and this is just my best work and I just want everyone to see it. I hope to get that feeling sometime, but
Yeah.
how is it with art? Because I see it on the
Yeah.
wall at the salon and people spent time and energy and made these
Yeah.
creations and they're like, "Yeah, look at my art."
Yeah, but I think a lot of times they don't feel 100% on all with all of them. They're just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that," because a lot of it is a process, and that, the way they felt when they painted that, or what they
Mhm.
thought about when they're painting it,
Yeah.
or whatever. There's so many different ways you look at a painting and you think about, and then you judge it
Yeah.
as an artist.
Yeah.
But,
So you are
yeah,
just
I'm
kinda
so
like
critical with
hating
all
it.
my art. Like, all my art, I'm so critical. Like, everything I do, I'm constantly it's a battle that I'm like, "It's not that it's okay," you
Yeah.
know? But I'm like, "But
She
I'm
took
the
it
teacher.
serious.
I should have some amazing, like, pieces," you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You're so self-critical all the time,
Yeah. Mhm.
But all I keep telling myself is, "Just process just make the art. Make the art. Make
Yeah.
the art.
I think
Just
that's what the
constantly
others
make
are
art."
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And
putting it
another big goal of mine eventually is to have an open studio.
yeah. Would you hang at the salon maybe? Because we have walls?
Yeah,
Would you
love
like
to
that
hang
could
it.
be that would be a good
Yeah,
practice, huh? Yeah,
yeah, that
well,
would
we
be
should
a
definitely set that
goal.
up. Okay. Yeah, because I see, like, one of somebody I know who hangs up at the salon. I know that once there's a date, then they're painting like crazy because 'cause they're just trying to get enough pieces up. But I'm just like, "Wow, that's so" because, like, the world might not see, the vision, right? The world might not all look and you have to be okay with that too, just like the same as my
Exactly.
stuff, right? Like, not
Yeah.
everyone's gonna hear the message, not everyone's gonna think what you're saying is important, and I think this has served me in this area, and I wonder if it's, also serves an artist, but just basically, like, it's important because you say it's important. You're the one that validates the thing and makes it real. You saw the vision, you put it on the canvas, you made it real. Like you brought it to life, right? And
Yes.
that's all it needs is that breath from you. And it's the same as, when whatever I'm doing, it's like, it's important because I said it's important. Some people are going to resonate with that and some people are not,
Right? And you gotta be okay with just
Yeah.
all the different opinions out there.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
So you mentioned that one of your goals is to do the open studios. What are some of your other hopes and dreams? You're already making them happen. You said you wanted to do the adults. Here you are. Actually, let's start there. What are you offering at your studio currently for adults? Just so if anyone is curious, we can
Well,
know what
the
you're talking
adult clay night, and I do it on a punch card kind of,
cool.
system so that if you can't make every single it's, on Wednesday nights. If you can't make every Wednesday, it's okay, but you just pay a month at a time,
Mhm.
and I just charge $20 an hour.
What are we making? Is this ceramics, like, stuff, or is this, like, sculpting or
It can be sculpting, but it's, stuff that can go in a kiln, so it's
yeah.
mostly, like vessels or, but it's gonna be all the different styles, the pinch pot style. We also have a wheel. We throw on the wheel. We do slab work. We build houses. We build, you
Mhm.
know, all kinds of actually, I'm just open to letting people do as many pieces as they want.
Cool.
And whatever they want. And so a lot of times they'll look, on Pinterest or different and whatever sparks their excitement, they'll do something kind of similar or and then I'll tell them how the techniques and all the different,
That
things that
sounds
I
so
have, the tools. So fun.
Mhm.
It's so fun because there's so many different things you can do with clay. Like
Yeah.
clay is so fun. It's so meditative and rewarding.
That's what I
After
hear.
putting it in the kiln and then pulling it out and then glazing it and then doing another fire, and then it's like Christmas. You open it up, you're like and then you get to
What I
pull them all
made.
out and
Yeah.
see how they turned out. Because a lot of times they don't turn out at all like you
Yeah.
expected because it's just kind of one of those things that glazes
Yeah.
can act crazy.
Yeah. I see you.
Yeah, and some blow up in there and, they have to be completely dry and hollow and yeah. Eh
Okay, so you've got the clay night right
Mhm.
now, and you still have the paint night.
Yeah, so the paint night I usually do every last Thursday of the month. It's just
Mhm.
been working for over a year. I've been doing it, and I have a paint night list that I call or text and let know, and then whoever what can I put it on the list, and if there's leftover spaces, I usually put it on social media.
Mhm.
Um, but it's all different mediums, it's not just paint.
Mhm.
It's called paint night, but it's also dry pastel, oil pastel, liquid watercolor. We get to dive into all kinds of different techniques and different mediums, which is super fun too, because we got canvas and then we got boards and we got paper and it's very social and fun. We usually have a little bit of appetizers and drinks
Mhm.
for everyone, and,
Thirsty
it's
ones.
yeah, yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
a big drinking thing,
'Cause that's what I
it's
think probably most people, the only way they identify with paint night is wine paint night.
yeah.
Not necessarily like a wino paint, it's not wine first, then paint, which is usually what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where it's like
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
centered
like at a
around the
bar.
wine. Yeah, and it's centered around as much wine as you could possibly drink, and you
Yeah,
have a painting when you leave, but, I mean, I'm sure people wanna, like, drink
yeah,
their
I don't know how people do it. I
yeah,
cannot even have 1 glass of wine and paint or draw or do any art.
just start talking instead and
I
just
just
socializing.
yeah, but I have it available for those who
Yeah.
can.
Okay, fun.
But, yeah, it's 2 hours long, which is just the right amount of time, I
It
feel,
is. Yeah.
and, it's $35, which is pretty cheap for
So cheap. So c that's
and I provide all the supplies, and it's a wonderful thing. I did try to do 2 nights a week in 1 month, and, I totally can. I could fill it up, I'm sure. I'm just not the best at marketing and pushing
yeah.
and it's usually word of mouth is the way my whole school has
It seems
been
like it. I've
all these
just
years.
definitely noticed that in your story that from the beginning, one thing led to another, from to the next, to the next, to the next. It wasn't like you sat back and, had this master plan and you sat there and, you know, did your big business plan. And now here you are all these years later having followed this plan. It's like just kind of one thing seemed to lead to the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah. This homeschool thing was, a little daunting because to get into the homeschool world, they don't even know I'm here, right? So I had a few parents that had put their kids in my classes for preschool classes that knew about me. So they spread the word. But there was like 2, 3 months where I only had like one person in one class and two in the other. And I'm like, "Okay, maybe the universe is telling me I'm not going this direction." And I was like, going to combine the two classes. And I'm like, okay. And I was getting really nervous. Now they're both like full and there's wait lists and it's just like wildfire. It's like the kid parents are just blown away at what
Yeah.
they're doing in here.
Mhm.
And the kids are just like, can't get enough.
Mhm.
And my husband keeps saying, "You're gonna go viral. You're gonna go viral." And I'm like, "No, I don't really want it to go just because it's so
Yeah,
small
you're
in
like,
here, I
"Where
can
are they
it's
gonna go?"
perfect." But I
Yeah,
just I just love that community feel of
yeah,
the connections of the parents and the kids and talking about it, and that's the way I want it to be. I don't want
yeah.
it to be this,
Viral thing.
viral thing.
That's it's so true, like, there are people we know, like, you can use Karina as a very close example of what you're describing. I feel like there's watching someone follow what lights them up, follow what excites them, and what gets to come of that. Like, you were doing that, and with that, people were drawn to it. And like I was saying, right, you started like you're drawn to, you lean in when you're like, wow, why are you so excited? I want to feel what you're feeling. And
Well, it
it seems like that truly is what you're doing, and that you're attracting people who wanna feel that excitement, or, they're trying it and they're feeling it and they're seeing it, and then more gets to come of that. So it's like this really wonderful momentum that kinda grew organically based off of your enthusiasm for art and what excites you and lights you up. And then you did mention having some fear and having some doubt at times, and I'm just curious if you could pinpoint, looking back, and when you were doubting and you were not sure for a minute, where you're like, I'm not sure if this is the right direction, or maybe I should be doing something else because the universe isn't like opening up for me. So it sounds like you
mm,
had some expectation that it's going to open up if it's the right thing. And then when it wasn't
absolutely.
feeling right, did something change? Did you change something? Like, how did it go from
Well, I've
that
always
feeling of
kind of
not working to it working?
Yeah, I've always been kind of like letting the universe, guide me. And I've been very grateful for my husband being able to like provide for our family. And I've having very, slow times. And he's always just been so like, do what you're gonna do because you're so good at it and just let it come when it comes. It's gonna come. He kept on saying it's gonna come. It's gonna come. And there has been a shift in my thinking and teaching within the last year since I started adults, where I realize I'm really good at what I do. And a lot of it is the passion and just letting that lead, my teaching. And And I just know that only good can come from that because people do feel that, like you said. And like my exercise and following my group of people that are passionate about exercise. It's just this saying that you just want to follow. And
Mhm.
so I know that it's just going to be successful.
Yeah.
And I am definitely more confident in the way I teach just because I became okay with not being this certain kind of teacher that I thought I was supposed to be at the beginning.
Yeah.
I also go to a therapist and I talk to her a lot about it, but I just it's something going ding that you feel like your way is not like everybody else's way. And I just I just feel like my way is very organic and very like loose and flowy. And I'm noticing the adults love it because they feel less pressured, less like they just feel like the way I teach is very standoff, but I'm also right there.
Yeah.
And, I want them to tap into that place. But I feel like I'm more confident
Yeah.
within myself. So it's a really
Yeah.
also getting older and, you know,
Your
knowing
wisdom is paying off,
knowing that
life
I
experience.
am enough and I'm pretty badass.
Yeah, it's so good to hear you say that, and it's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty badass. And I'm not like super polished and clean and
yeah,
organized but that's okay
yeah, I hear
because
that.
what I'm doing is working.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of amazing feedback.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So it's like it's cool to hear though, because you're not it's not to say that you suddenly have zero doubt and you never feel, anything but confident. It's like
oh,
you're confident and at this point, but it's like you've worked for that and you've earned it and you've had to work on it and
yeah.
you
And I'm
have
still
been
working on it.
and you're still working on it and there's still doubt sometimes and there's still those moments of feeling like not great, not good, and I don't even know why anyone's coming to my classes anyways, and right? But you
Yeah.
continue to move forward, you continue to show up, you continue to offer it and put it out there and kind of just trust like even if I can't see it in this moment, I'm going to trust that it is enough because clearly people are still eating it up, right? And they're
Right?
still loving it. And yeah, it's good to know. We don't need to, solve all of our internal battle problems before we actually get to move forward. I think
Gosh,
it
that'd be
right. It gets to,
exhausting.
yeah, it gets to happen in the process, right?
Mhm.
And might
Yeah.
take your whole life and we want to be able to
Yeah.
have done something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I've noticed that, the whole money part, it's always been kind of an issue because I don't wanna charge, and I'm like, "Hey, this is my living. I'm
Mhm.
gonna charge." So, that whole thing is, like, I feel like is kind of changing in me, like, "Nope, this is what I charge, and,
Mhm.
you wanna be a part of it,"
Mhm.
you know?
It's limited spots, so
Yeah. Get on
mhm.
it now.
Yeah, jump in. Yeah, so right now she's got a few classes ongoing, and I'm sure
Mhm.
depending on when you're listening to this, you just don't know what she'll have going on, so it's definitely worth getting on your website, right? You have that stuff on your website, and she has a
Yes.
website. Mhm.
Yes, I do. That's,
Tell
Vienna
us,
Art
yeah, how to
3.
get in touch with you.
Yeah, I also I just got hired at Montessori, so I'm gonna be
Mhm.
starting to work Monday through Friday,
Mm,
starting at the Christmas break is over. So
awesome.
I'm really excited about going in and being contracted in there. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna be busy,
you're
but
gonna be
it's
busy. Yeah,
exciting because I love
yeah.
it.
Where else would you like this business to grow? Is this there, or do you have more hopes and dreams for it? Where are you at with your vision?
I think it's there. I really do because I have a dabble in the painting with adults. I dabble with the clay with adults, and then I do all the kids during the week. And I need to start doing some more of my own stuff.
Mhm.
I feel like I need to really focus on that
So
too.
your own, like, art? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta make
Because I
time for that.
consider my job my own art because I'm constantly coming up with projects and
Mhm,
getting creative with different kinds of projects for the
mhm.
kids and adults and that right there is it's very creative and it's but I want to produce some stuff and
Yeah,
like I said I'd love to do an open studios and maybe have a show different places. That's
yeah.
one of my goals. So,
Okay. I look
yeah.
forward to seeing that materialize since you are clearly materializing everything else. Okay, so
Yeah.
then if people wanna take one of your classes or get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Probably through my website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through your
Yeah.
website, which is
Vienna Art
Vienna
3.
Art.
But it shares the A. So it's
Okay.
the Vienna Art
Mhm.
shares the A and 3, that's all I had left, .com. But,
Okay.
it's got all the information of all my classes in there, even for kids if you're wanting to put your kids in there.
And you're on social media?
Yep, Facebook and Instagram
And
under
what are your
Vienna
name
Art
what's
School.
is it what is it on
Vienna
Instagram?
Art School.
Vienna Art School
Mhm.
on Instagram and
Yeah,
Facebook.
yep. It's Vienna Art School because it's up in Vienna Woods. I had to, like, battle with the name because there's an actual Vienna Art School in Vienna, Germany.
I saw that when I looked it up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and so
"Wow, it's like
and
a
it's like an old
castle."
famous,
Yeah,
school, so
but you got
we
it.
knew. Yeah,
Well, this has been so delightful. I'm, like, very inspired to do more art for sure, and I agree with you. I think it's part of our balance and well-being to practice. I guess I'm doing my dance, which is my form of art right now, but,
absolutely.
um yeah, just it matters, and it's important right now, I think, just
Yeah,
savoring what we as individuals can come up with, what we can create kind of without the assistance. I mean,
yeah,
or is using I know people also like to use AI to create their art, and maybe they use it as a tool, but I think, like, the point is, like, that practice of what can come from within, you know, and
absolutely.
I guess in some ways, even if it's the prompt you're prompting, that could be coming
Mhm,
from within too,
mhm,
up with your art, but Jennifer, thank
mhm.
you so much for sharing your heart and your journey with us.
Thank you. Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, you're such a reminder that following your light will pay off. Even if it's starts off as a small flicker in in your wild lives, like just following that thing that makes you happy versus what everyone thinks you should be doing, and let it ripple outward. You can clearly see your enthusiasm for what you're doing, and I'm just so excited for you. I'm just so grateful for you're doing what you're doing because I know it's providing a service for all those kids and their families, and then now adults get to, also benefit from your enthusiasm, and that is a
Yeah.
really wonderful, wonderful thing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for everyone listening, if you've been feeling that little pull towards something you love, let this be a sign to, maybe let it be organic, let it be natural, let it be easy. Don't expect there to not be doubt. Don't expect there to not be, some challenges, but just keep moving forward and keep taking
Yep.
steps. And
Yep.
reach out to Jen if you want to do some clay and some art.
Yes.
Very good. All
Yes.
right. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Thank you.
Um, we'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks for listening in, and bye for now.
Bye.